Good evening. Welcome. This is Patrick, and you are trading with Prime. Hopefully, you guys can hear me tonight. This is the weekend review of the market, where we see the market headed, and I want to go over some ticker symbols to see if we can help out with some analysis on different stocks you guys are trading. So we're going to get right into it. We did a review on Friday, but we'll just kind of get right into it. It looks like the futures are down a little bit. Really down, not that much. It looks like negative 0.04%, which is really not much at all. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Welcome to anybody who's new. We're going to just roll with it here. If you get a chance, put the ticker symbols into the comment section, and we will go over those briefly. So right now I'm just going to go to the 5-minute. We're going to go to the 5-minute here, and we're just going to zoom in. I want to make sure I want to highlight extended hours just so I can kind of see what's going on. So not so bad. We actually let me change something else here. Parents. Got I redid some settings here, so let's just change a couple things around. Okay, so looking at Friday, we kind of sold off a little bit. The last couple days, we kind of sold off, had a bear flag on Thursday, and then going into Friday, sold off again. We had some China news come out regarding the embassies. And then market rallies a little bit, pulls back, and at the open, right at the open, it sells off, finds a bottom, and then it tries to rally a couple times throughout the day. Tries to rally here again throughout the day. And we're still just kind of looking for a bottom here. It would not surprise me at all if we pulled back a little bit further. How's it going, guys? How's it going, Dr. Death? James? How's it going, Landon? Yeah. I was having a little bit of issues. I didn't realize that I haven't actually set up the live stream for this specific channel, so I was having a little bit of issues in the beginning going through the YouTube settings. Um, we'll try to get through this. We just wanted to show what Friday looked like. I'm going to go to the S&P 500 and go ahead and put your tickers in the comment section. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. We'll get to those. So Friday we were looking at this, and I've said this before, and you'll hear me keep saying it. As long as we remain above the trend line, this market is a bullish market. In fact, we could pop below it as long as we remained above $300 in the S&P 500 around that price zone. We could take this short trade if we do fall below the trend line. That would be a good short trade setup as far as risk reward goes. And the way I like to trade this, really any stock, the way I like to trade this, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. Hopefully you guys can see the screen. And so what I like to do personally, I'm not saying everyone has to trade this way, but let's say this is my trend line. I like to see price fall through it. It doesn't have to back test, but it'd be nice if it did. Fall through, rally, as it starts to roll over and as soon as it breaks through and or takes out the lows of the previous low, that's when I like to go ahead and enter the short trade. You could also enter it on the back test using the back test as a stop loss somewhere up in this area. But right now I don't see a point in shorting the market. We did take a short up here near the highs, and that was a nice risk to reward setup. We did take that trade on intraday charts, especially the Chinese names. We had some bad news coming out. So now, I just kind of want to emphasize that we are in an uptrend. We could definitely find support, but it would not surprise me to see price come back to these levels, 309, 310, anywhere in this price area. We have to use our judgment on where this is going to find support, but it would not surprise me to still pull back a little bit further. So I'm going to go to a couple things I wanted to show you guys, and we'll kind of get through this live stream pretty quick. IWM, SLV, Facebook. Yeah, we'll look at all three of those. I love IWM both directions. I love SLV. Let's go ahead and I just wanted to show you guys something here. I'm in the Thinkorswim frame. Oops. So I wanted to show you guys something. This news came out today. Hopefully everyone can see my screen right here. It's a Forbes release. I don't know what news outlet actually released it at first, but just to show you guys what's going on here, it looks like another round of stimulus is coming out. $1,200 stimulus checks coming, Trump officials say. I don't expect this to rally the market just yet. It's possible. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There we go. I don't know if the market will rally on this news. There's a lot that goes in with this, and it's basically the Trump administration, you know, they're working with the Republicans to come out with this stimulus package. The thing is I don't know as far as, if Congress is going to approve it, if that requires both parties to approve it. We do have the Treasury Secretary talking about the checks. And as we scroll through here, we can kind of see they're talking about capping enhanced unemployment at 70% of each worker's lost wages, saying that the weekly $600 disincentivizes people from going back to work, which may or may not be true. I actually have a lot of friends who are collecting that unemployment, so that could be very likely that it's who wants to work when there's a virus going around, but also who wants to work when they're getting paid more to stay at home. As we scroll through here, there's something else to notice. Something I saw a little bit earlier. It's possible this week they come out with this plan. You can kind of go through the articles and do your own research on it to see what's actually true, what's not true. But the stimulus is coming. And while we're on this topic, let's go to the balance sheet. I did a video on this, I think yesterday or the day before. I might have to zoom out of this one. I don't know if you guys can actually see that screen. How is that? Hopefully you guys can see that. As I scroll down here, we talked about this in a video yesterday or Friday, I can't remember. QE4, okay? They've been talking about it. They're going to continue pumping money into the market. There's going to continue, they will continue the stimulus, and we talked about that affecting gold, silver, the stock market, assets, people's homes. The value of your home should go up. Now, I don't know if that's, I think that'll take some time, but in theory, the value should go up of assets. QE4, the Fed has announced it will continue QE4 as long as necessary to support markets. Treasury purchases are likely to surpass 1.6 trillion. I think that number is actually closer to 4 trillion. Maybe it's above 4 trillion. It's huge. It's massive. And I don't think they're going to stop. They're going to try to do everything that they can. And remember, it is an election year. That's something to consider. So that's what's going on as far as the news goes. One last thing I wanted to show you, and this we're looking at is the earnings coming up this week. We have a lot of earnings coming up. We also have Amazon, Apple both reporting on Thursday after the market close. We have UPS, 3M reporting on Tuesday. A lot of companies reporting this week. Do we think the market is going to sell off between now and when all these companies report? I don't know. That's something to consider. If you guys are having a hard time hearing me, let me know, and I'll try to adjust as I can. As of now, I'm going to continue with the live stream, and again, post any questions, comments, concerns in the comment section. Also, tickers you want to look at. I'm looking forward to 3M. I've been playing 3M for a while now. I've been in a earnings run up. If I can get 100% out of 3M on the options, if I can get 100% out of 3M, I'm going to go ahead and sell half of it and possibly hold the other half through earnings, depending on what the market is doing. That's the only time I will ever play in earnings, is if I'm up around 100% on the contracts. So we're going to go back to the charts here. That's how I see the S&P 500. Let's go to the Qs. Actually, let's do NQ so we can kind of see what the futures are doing. Probably selling off as I'm trying to tell you how bullish the market is. Okay, so let's go to Thinkorswim frame. Okay, so same thing with the Nasdaq. We found a low here. Okay, we found a low. I'm not saying that is going to be the actual low. It's possible. I like the way the daily candle looked on the Qs, but again, as long as we're above this uptrend, there's no reason to be shorting it unless you're already in a short. That's a FOMO trade. Taking a short trade tomorrow, I believe, in my opinion, is a FOMO trade. If we take a short trade tomorrow, just be careful. and know where your stop loss is going to be if you take the trade. I for one would love to see a break of that trend. I would also love to see a back test. I don't want to chase the price down. Okay, there's going to be a lot of buyers coming up here. There's a lot of buyers at this price area. This 50 period moving average is going to have a lot of buyers. You're going to have a lot of support in here, 10,070. You know, around 10,000 price area, you're going to have a lot of buyers show up. Okay, so let's go to, I just wanted to see the futures here, see what was going on. And I really can't take this with a, you know, they gapped up, they sold off, and then now that we're rallying again. I love yesterday's candle. I love yesterday as a stop loss. I am long the market right now, so I would love to see the market rally at this point. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out, right? That's how it goes. So let's go to, I'm going to go straight into the tickers. If you guys want, go ahead and start posting the ticker symbols. I do need to check our Facebook page and see if anyone else has posted ticker symbols in the Facebook page. And while we're waiting here, feel free to check out, I put in the description below, feel free to check out both trading groups. We are in 2 different trading groups. Amazing people, amazing plays. One of them is called Day Trading Done Easy. I put the link in the description below the video. And then in Ride the Bull, again, I put the link in the description. We have a lot of stuff in both of those servers, a lot of plays that are happening, a lot of informed people in both of those servers. Let me check the Facebook page here just to make sure. I want to make sure, I want to see if people have posted links. Okay, so let's look at IWM. I am in an IWM trade right now. Okay. Oops. I have so my trend lines on this one are a little bit wobbly. I'm going to remove one of them. I'm going to, well, that didn't work. Okay, so IWM, same thing. We're in an uptrend. And something I was looking at a couple days ago, I'm going to do something with this trend line. I don't know what's going on with this trend line here. Come on. It's not that I want to clean it up. I don't want to move it, but I want to clean it up a little bit. I don't know where we can put it. Let's just do that for now. I don't know. Let's just, there. Okay, so IWM, I love this chart, both directions. I did take a short trade in this on Thursday, I believe, and I closed it out on Friday. I don't like Friday's close. It looks extremely bearish. I don't like it. However, it's at support. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we open up here. 140, you know, I can't really see the numbers here. I'll have to go. Friday's low, 145.56. If we're in this pattern right here, I don't know why this can't be a bull flag. Okay. Can that be a bull flag? Do you see the same thing? Dr. Death, do you see the same thing? Now, granted, it could also close the gap down here. We could be trading down here on Monday and Tuesday. It's possible. If we start getting into that gap, take out Friday's low and start getting into that gap, I would expect that they would close the gap. That could be a trade. But there will be support down at the gap, and there will be support at one. I'll have to do, let me zoom in here. The low of this candle is 138.64. So we could say support is around 138.50 to 138.75. I know that's a wide range, but that's possible. So anything can happen with the IWM. Looking at the weekly chart though, really quick. James, any stocks you want to look at this weekend? The weekly chart, we had a pretty bearish day on Friday's weekly close. We closed at the low of the day. Pretty bearish. It's not a totally convincing candle. I mean, look at that volume on the week. I wouldn't call that distribution. I know a lot of people are calling it distribution, but I wouldn't call that distribution. That volume is pretty light. Now, it doesn't mean we can't sell off on light volume. I think that we could easily sell off on light volume. I just think that, volume 110 million shares on the week compared to the week before, pretty huge candle on the week before, 154 million shares. This is a sell-off volume on 6/8, the week of 6/8, which was 261 million. So you have calls for Friday's expiration. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Just looking at this chart, it is possible that we retrace up this candle and maybe we get rejected again. Maybe we get up to where we're supposed to get to up here and challenge the high of this candle, right? The IWM is lagging compared to the other markets, so we will see. Just maybe have a plan on if it does start selling off where your stop loss is going to be. Oops. Looking at the hourly chart. I mean, we didn't exactly have an hourly reversal. We could almost call there's a candle in here. I kind of see it. We could almost call this an hourly reversal. And so if your stop loss is at the low of that candle or just below it, we still haven't had an hourly close below that price level around 145.70, 145.56, 145.56 stop loss, maybe just below that price. I mean, in options, I don't know, Dr. Death. I when I'm doing options, I still use stop losses. I am a swing trader. I use stop losses. Sometimes that can hurt the account. It can hurt. Sometimes that can hurt the account and hurt the trade um, using the stop losses. But for my trading plan, I do. I don't go YOLO. I don't spend thousands of dollars on one options position. So for me, it's really not a lot of risk to go ahead and use the stop loss. Guys, go ahead and put your tickers in the comment section and we will go over them. Let's go to SLV. And I hope you guys can hear me. I'm working on getting a new mic. Rome wasn't built in a day. But I'm working on getting the mic so it'll be easier for you guys to hear me so I'm not yelling and crackling and breaking the speakers in your car. Have been day trading penny stocks the last 2 weeks, so no tickers I'm looking at right now. But out of curiosity, if you could only trade 3 different stocks, which would they be? To answer that question, if I could trade 3 stocks, what would they be? I like ETFs, so I love the S&P 500. I like SPY. I like IWM, and I like TLT. But I love AMD. There's so many that I would want to trade. So many. So, okay. Whoops. Broke something here. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue here. SLV. What's funny is I put a post in one of the trading groups I'm in on shorting SLV and GLD, and people don't like to hear that. Let's do something. Let's do something fun here. Let's do something fun. Hello, Robin Track. How are you? Let's go to leaderboard. No? Let's go to search and type in SLV. Can you guys see that? Can't see it. Let me zoom over. There we go. Wait. Okay. Okay. I had to hide my little cursor there. Let's take a look here. Do you guys see what I see? Do you guys see? Go to this website, robintrack.net. And here's what I see. I see Robinhood users, and this website uses Robinhood users, but it's to represent the retail trader. So as we go through here, you can start to see the rally off the March lows. Yeah, March lows with how many retail traders are holding this. So right now, users holding 21,661 users holding SLV, and the average, I don't even know where it would show the average on here, but just looking at the chart, just looking at this chart, the average is probably around 7,000, maybe 5,000 to 7,000, maybe up to 9,000. Maybe a new average, it's higher than that. So I like to go here. When I went back, when we did the Tesla short, this is how we, now I'm not saying short a stock or an ETF. Don't short silver based on this, isn't what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you start to see these companies in the media, you start seeing it on CNBC, you start seeing it on Bloomberg, you start seeing it on all the news, all the friends, everyone we know starts talking about these companies. I'm not saying it means sell it. I'm also not saying that I would short it. But for me personally, when I did that post, this is what I was looking at, right? Let me go to this is what I'm looking at. Huge, huge move. I would not call this capitulation, oh, I'm sorry, exhaustion. I wouldn't say that this is exhaustion, but look at that volume. Granted, we're on the weekly chart. That's a nice breakout. Very bullish. But when I was looking at GLD, we're getting up there to, we're getting closer and closer to resistance. But here's the thing I want to talk about for a split second here. Let's keep it on the weekly chart. Silver has way more room to run than gold. You know, when you start getting up in this area, when you start getting up in here, silver is on a breakout. It's on a multi-month breakout, in my opinion. It's okay to be long silver. It's okay to be holding silver. But if I'm looking at intraday pullbacks, which is what we are, we're traders. So me personally, I'm looking for about a 4 to 5% correction in silver, which on this chart, look at this. I'd have to zoom in here. Let me go back to a mental stop loss if price goes opposite. Yeah, I would love to, that's what I do. I do mental stop losses. If I start to see price start closing hourly below the price level, the stop loss, I'll close out of it. Yeah, AMD is a beast. So what I'm looking at is a correction, a pullback. I don't even want to call it a correction, a pullback. I don't know what price it's going to pull back from, but 4 to 5% in options is a nice little return. However, with that said, I'm looking to be a buyer in silver and gold, and actually I do have GLD. I am gonna hold through the pullback. Some people, depending on when you bought GLD. So yeah, we're coming into a little bit of resistance right now on silver. We're coming into a little bit of resistance, but we're also building energy, right? Maybe put a stop loss down at 20.54, somewhere in that area, because if we fall below that, we're gonna go down to the next level most likely. I don't see why this can't be a building, some sort of bullish pattern, maybe a bull flag type of a pattern. Completely possible, but I also do think that we'll pull back a little bit, whether that is time or it's in price. We're gonna probably pull back a little bit, but there's also no reason why this can't continue rallying. We've seen it with a lot of stocks these days. They'll just keep rallying. So, and I'm looking at the same thing while we're on that subject. Let's look at the GLD. Same thing. We could just see this continue to rally, but I'm also looking for a pullback in GLD, and I will absolutely take that trade. And by the way, we did a post in both of our groups. I'm going to look at TLT since we're on the subject. And go ahead, guys, post tickers if you want us to look at them. Otherwise, we will start wrapping it up here. I have a put on SLV waiting for a pullback and also calls for a little longer term. Yeah, that's perfectly fine, depending on how long term, what the premium is on those calls and what the IV or what the your deltas, depending on what you've got as far as which options. but I love SLV. I do think we have a lot more upside compared. If I had to choose one, SLV or GLD, even though I'm in GLD, if I had to choose one for longer term, I would say SLV has more room to run than GLD. GLD is pretty much at its all-time highs, depending on if you're looking at GLD or the GC futures, depending on what you're looking at. So just for the record, this is why I'm saying I put it on the Discord. I put the link in the description on both Discord groups that we're in. We did a post the other day. It was talking about TLT. We did this post. There was one that I was short TLT. I was expecting the market to rally, but what happened? And then I did another post talking about watch out for the breakout or breakdown in TLT. Okay, this was in option world. This is a monster move. It's a breakout. We're now consolidating, which may not be good for my long-term position, my longer term, or I'm sorry, my long positions in the S&P, the Qs, IWM. But let's see what happens. If we break out, there is resistance up here at these levels. We'll definitely see resistance up here. I don't expect us to get up to 179, but it's possible. This is a breakout. Maybe a measured move for the TLT breakout. Maybe a measured move for this is more like, okay, let's measure from somewhere down here. We see a 3% run in TLT. We just broke out. Let's do the somewhere in the bull flag. We're almost at 3%. Maybe 170.50 is around 3%, which would put us in line with some of these resistant levels over here. I'll try to mark this right here. It might put us in line with, some of these resistant levels over here. Okay, so just watch TLT. If you guys get a chance, watch the bond market. Whoops. Pull up our Huya. We did amazing trading Huya the other day. So, well, I don't know. I can't find those on there. I'm gonna say TNX. Watch the bond market. I'll do a video on this pretty soon. How's it going, Mark? No problem. No problem being late. That's okay. Again, I apologize for my mic, guys. I'm on, brand new streaming, so I didn't know how much I wanted to invest in a mic, but I'm listening to the playback. I feel like it's time to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. I want people to have an easier time figuring out what I'm saying. So let's look at this really quick. Watch this, guys. Watch these levels. Okay, I promise you one thing. If TNX falls through to the downside, watch that very closely this week. Okay, not good for the market. We want TNX. We want the bonds to be rallying. Well, I'm sorry. We want the yields to be rallying. So we don't want them falling. And since we're on the same page, let's check the dollar. I don't know if you guys follow these things during the trading days, but this is how we know what's really going on. Now, this is the mystery. Why is the dollar selling off and stocks are selling off? Why is that? Well, we know why gold and silver are rallying. Okay, Fed's printing money. Why and the dollar is falling? Assets, including stocks, should be going up, not down. In theory, not every day, but pay attention to the dollar. If UUP finds support down here, if we start finding support and then we have a bounce back and we rally, that might not be good for stocks. Okay, so kind of watch that. Let's get to your guys' ticker symbols and we'll wrap it up. SLV Facebook. I've said before the Qs are on timeout. Well, I said last week the Qs are on timeout. I don't know why this can't be I don't want to call it a reversal candle. Can you guys see that okay? Whoops. Let's do this. Gosh dang it. Can you guys see that chart okay? Okay, I don't know why. That's indecision. Maybe it could go either way. Maybe we open up down here. I have no idea. Right? But it could be a reversal. Why can't it? Little pullback. Anyway, there's support down here on the low of this candle, 218.47. And we also have support at the low of this candle. We call it 210. I believe this candle is the lowest. The low is 207.11, but I can promise you bulls will show up before price gets down all the way down down that far. It's possible bulls show up down at the low of this candle, 218, or even the low, or even 210, 215, some of that price area. But looking at intraday chart, let's go to the 15-minute chart. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see why this can't be support. Why can't the low 226.90 be support? Why can't this low be support? What I do know is we have resistance at 237.20. Okay. Hourly chart is better for support and resistance, in my opinion. We have resistance at 232.70. 232.77, let's say that. 232.77 is resistance. Yesterday or Friday's high. And while we're on that subject, let's check out the Qs. How's it going, Tyson? Yeah, US dollar. Yeah, so that I love trading the US dollar also, but I don't do a lot of forex. I'll trade my UUP. I don't do the pairs. TLT and UUP, low key snitch, what the overall market should do. That's absolutely right, Tyson. TLT, here's the thing. You guys want to see something crazy. And this is like, I don't know how many people know this. TLT, I'm going to go back to the daily chart because this is very important. If everybody saw this the other day, they would have been able to align their positions better in IWM, in the Qs, in the SP 500. When TLT broke out, right? TLT broke out, sold off that day to back test, and then gapped up overnight. It was so fast, but that's why we posted it in Day Trading Done Easy and Ride the Bull Discord servers. We posted it for this reason. That's your telltale for the market. Now, it doesn't mean every single day, but it means traders are going to bonds. Traders are buying bonds. The yields are rising. Traders are buying bonds. The yields are falling. I'm sorry. Um, so why are they buying bonds? The bond market is the giveaway. The dollar is the giveaway. Look at the dollar selling off here. Let's put it in perspective, though. Let's put that in perspective. Is it really that big of a deal? Let's go out further here. Let's go 5 years weekly chart. Yeah, it's selling off a little bit, but let's get real here. The dollar probably shouldn't have been up where it was at to begin with, but you know, you're going to have support down here. We're almost to support. It's a nice hedge, right? It's a nice hedge for sure. UUP moves slow, but that's a beautiful trade if you're short the UUP. Soon we'll have a bounce, but as long as UUP is falling, that's what's interesting. UUP is falling, TLT is rising. Are stocks gonna do this all week? Because that's a divergence, and we'll figure that out. Time will tell. I believe what's going to be correct is I believe that the bond market will be correct. What stock were we on here? Go ahead and post any more stocks you guys want to look at in the comment section. What were we going to look at here? There's something else that I saw up here. We did Facebook, SLV, IWM, AMD. Wow. You know what's crazy? I don't know how many of you guys, some of you are on our other channels live stream on last Sunday. We talked about this. And we said, what did we think AMD was looking like? I'm not saying I came up with this idea. I don't remember who put it in the chat or in the comment section, but we did talk about this, right? How many weeks has AMD been trading sideways for? It rallies, pulls back a little bit, trades sideways. I mean, you can only hit resistance so many times before you gap over it or before you rally over it. It was a matter of time on the weekly chart. Now, that's easy to say in hindsight. It's easy to say, "Oh, I would have done, you know, you guys should have seen that." You know? It's easy to say, But looking back, you know, it's really hard to hold options through this. We did a video on the other YouTube channel. We did a video where we called it catching the falling knife, where we took this bounce right here. We caught that falling knife, several day sell off. We caught that, we rode it, sold it. But anyway, the daily chart is phenomenal. You can only hit resistance so many times before you break out. I was not in this trade. And then worse than that, how many of you guys saw the sell-off this day and then either forgot to enter the trade at the end of the day, forgot to buy, on the 50% retracement of the move, forgot to buy it? Is that crazy? That's me. I forgot to buy it. Okay, let's go here. AMD's a beast. I would not be shorting this. Personally, there's no point. Personally, there is no point, right? What did we had a video on this. What did we say about stocks, shorting stocks? What are we waiting for? Let's wait for the reversal candle. Okay? AMD will get its reversal candle. Now you could do that on the 15-minute chart, hourly chart, but as far as swing trading goes, if you're a swing trader, I would stay away from the AMD short. Wait for it to consolidate. Wait for it to put in a daily reversal. Walmart, in my opinion. Speaking of, all of this is in my opinion. This is all in my opinion. Not saying take trades. Walmart's a beast. Daily chart, maybe it wants to come back and check in a little bit with this breakout. Maybe it wants to close a gap down here. Maybe Walmart is putting in a bull flag. Possible. I don't like to take bull flags, especially this long of a bull flag. Well, I don't know if it'd be that long of a bull flag. Maybe it's from right here. I don't like to take the bull flag trade. Possible, but premium's probably a little bit expensive. Maybe do a spread on that. But still, to me, we took Walmart down here. We took Walmart in this breakout. This would have been nice. Okay, but we are also kind of at resistance here. 133, 134, 134.50 resistance. Little bit of, but beautiful chart. Absolutely amazing a chart. Weekly chart, same thing. Absolutely amazing. Forex difficult. This one has shown 3 times to go up, but keeps digging. Yeah. Forex is, I would love to be a Forex trader. Maybe one day I could do that. I actually follow this guy who does Forex. Amazing guy. Bonds predict against, bonds definitely protect against crash and inflation. Buy silver and gold though, absolutely. Yeah, AMD hourly. Let's look at that, Landon. Let's look at that AMD hourly. Whoops. Any more tickers, guys, before we wrap it up? AMD hourly. Amazing. I mean, it's one that kind of hits you in the face after the fact. Here's the thing, and why I beat myself up more than missing the trade to begin with. Why I didn't see this trade set up on this day. This is what kills me with this. Here's what it does. It breaks out. Everybody covers. It back tests the breakout perfectly. You could not ask for a better setup, right? And then this rocket on the setup. And part of it is because it was a Thursday. Who wants to take that trade at the end of the day on a Thursday to swing trade it? That's a hard trade to take. I mean, you don't know that after hours it's going to rally. I don't know if that was, I'm pretty sure that was after hours. But that's a hard trade to take. That's a hard trade to enter as a swing trader. But technically speaking, we did break out and back test, right? So let's look at, good call on that, Landon. Good call on that. That's what we like to see. Let's look at, I don't know how to say that, Rada. Rada. By the way, guys, feel free. And I'm not saying this. I don't want. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to. I want to grow this channel for learning purposes, and because there's so many scams out there. I want people to learn the markets. I want them and I want to keep learning. I want people to learn the markets. I want to keep learning, and I want to grow this channel so that people have an opportunity, right? Oh, you meant the daily on AMD? Well, hey, you know what, Landon? Either way, good job. Yes, you're right. The daily, that did broke out back test. How dare it do that and us not enter the trade? Unless you guys did, I missed it. Okay, let's look at no, you could not ask for a better setup. I've had a couple last week that were like that. Absolutely amazing. That was the TLT trade. This is what's crazy. Look at this trade. Every once in a while you get ones that are like this. Okay, so check this out, guys. Check this out. I want to draw this on here. Okay, right? Remember the daily chart? Okay, there's the trade. This is why it's hard. Okay, this day right here is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, check this out. Breakout. It kind of goes sideways and then it pulls back. At the end of the day, it back tests. Of course we would take this trade. That's hard to take on a Wednesday afternoon, right? Not sure you would want to. Maybe a small portion. Take a small position if you're going to swing that from that breakout. Back test. It was a perfect setup. Every once in a while you get those, and then one day you put half your account down on all the a bunch of calls, and one day you come in, same idea, and you're like, oh well, breakout back test, and then we rallied. But then the day that you buy a bunch of calls, it does that overnight. One more since we're on that subject is this is so funny. We did this a couple times. AMD, we keep doing it. That's the thing with AMD. We could just keep doing this. AMD had the same thing. Oh, I drew that wrong. Let me go back here. My trend line should be down like that, right? Anyway, we broke out, we back tested, and then it just insane rocket ride is why I love AMD. I did a call out in AMD last week. I don't think it was one of my better call outs, but the thing is going back and looking at it, it was still like 8%. Yeah, it was 7.5% on the day that we called this out. 7.5%. It just doesn't look like it though on this chart. I'm still expecting AMD to break out. We'll see what earnings does. Let's see if they beat or miss. It's this week. I think it's on Tuesday. I'm not in this trade. I'm not in AMD, but I would like to be. Okay, what we're going to look at, RADA, and then let's start wrapping this up. Unless you guys have any other questions, concerns, comments, feel free to comment under the video. Also, oh, that was back to my point was I want to keep doing this and I want this to reach as many people as possible, and I want more people that are enthusiastic and like the market. I want them to be a part of this. And if they have the same passion as we do, we can help each other out. So hopefully we can get more people in here. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button and leave me a comment on what you would like to see or change. Looking at, okay, so let's look at this one, RADA. I like this chart. I like this chart, absolutely. Actually, let me go back here. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Man, can you imagine buying this down here? What do you think the people that bought this at $2.05? $2.05. Tell me this. What do you think? Imagine none of this is on the chart. None of this is here yet, right? Can you imagine what people are thinking when the price is down here? Could you imagine entering that trade? Those are the ones we like to take. Catching the falling knife. I bet you there's, well, I can't say there's resistance. I don't know how far back this chart goes, but, or support back there, but just think of what was going through traders' minds on this day. Can you imagine taking a trade when you feel like everything about it is wrong? Imagine the fear in the marketplace at that time. Anyway, let's get through this. Okay. When it's not as clear, you know what I like to do? I like to go to the weekly. Aha. Gosh, look at this candle. This, by the way, this is a reversal candle. And that candle is the retracement, which is a good entry, in my opinion, on a weekly chart. In any event, let's check out here. Weekly chart resistance. There might be resistance down here in the opening of this candle, weekly candle, which is $6.67. $6, oops, 67 cents, right? Resistance. Also $7.04. But you know what this chart is doing? This chart is setting up, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to do that tomorrow. This is a weekly chart, but that's what it looks like it wants to do. It wants to break out. And you know what? Thank you for putting this on here, Mark. I might consider taking a trade in this if I see a pullback this week or a breakout. Thank you for bringing that to the group. I mean, look at this thing. So, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so I think that wraps it up, guys. Thank you all. Oh, okay. Tesla. Tesla. Let's do one more. Support and resistance on the screen already. Can you see that? How do I zoom in here? Resistance at, well, first of all, support should be at the low or opening of this candle, which is 1276.79. So it's 1276.79. Let's call it 80 cents. Support right there, okay? Which is the bottom of this candle. We also have a gap fill if it does decide to get down there, and we have the low, technically the low of this candle, the breakout candle, which is just below $1,000. It's okay for being late. Only an hour. No, I'm just teasing. Teasing. We love having you here. Thank you. Yeah, so the low of this candle, which is just below $1,000. Here's a thing, little market psychology for you. Do you think if Tesla starts trading off, selling, do you think that buyers are going to show up at exactly $1,000? It's possible, but is it probable? Or do you think the market makers and the sellers are going to want to drive as much fear into the marketplace as possible in Tesla and come underneath $1,000, which I believe the latter, right? If we see a sell-off, I don't think 1,000 is going to hold, right? I think if we see a sell-off, we're looking at 948, $950, somewhere in that price range. But that's a weekly chart, and it could get there fast with Tesla. Believe that. Another great video, I think that Mike. Okay, Mike sounds good. That's good, Tyson. Yeah, I'm still a little bit I was a little concerned about the mic. Tesla's had a habit of gapping down after gapping up on earnings. Yeah, I kind of wondered that. I wondered how many people would be bullish. So on the daily chart though, because we were looking at the weekly, there is support down here. I know I have 1337.96, but I have a gap at 1276.69, so I'm going to do this. 1276, what did I say? 1276.69. Let's say it's 1277. Let's call it 1277. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. 1277. Okay. The next area, which I don't think it'll stop here if it does fall. Actually, you know what? It might. The next area we're looking at is 1221.48. 12, 21, 48. I know we're a ways away from that, but if things start to get really ugly, they could come down to here. They could also close the gap down here. So on these guys, what I like to do is I like to look for gaps when I'm trading, when a stock is kind of falling off. But there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with Tesla being, here's something else to consider. Why can't this be a bull flag? And I'm not saying the measured move would be from 1,000 to 1,200, but why not? Why can't this go to 2050? You know, roughly 2050 or 2200. Why not? Would it shock us or surprise us to see Tesla up at 2050? Now, whether I think the company is worth it or not, the chart is the arbiter, and that's what it's doing, right? No reason why it can't keep continuing higher. If you're in Tesla, maybe use Friday's low as the stop loss, or if you entered long on any stock on Friday, maybe use the Friday's low as the stop loss, if that makes sense, which was 1366.54. So maybe 1360 or 1358 stop loss. I would not be long Tesla, in my opinion. For me, I'm not saying you don't be long Tesla. I'm not going to be a buyer in Tesla until I see a back test of $1,000. Do I think Tesla's worth $1,000? No, I don't. What do I think Tesla is worth? Honestly, wholeheartedly, people may argue with this. Fundamentally, I believe Tesla's worth $500 to $600 a share. But guess what? It doesn't matter what I think. And I will be a bull on Tesla and catch that $1,000 support if we get there, regardless of what I think. Okay? Another way I'll be a bull on Tesla is this. If Tesla does this and moving averages start coming up, what would it be building up to do? The bull flag deal. It'd be bullish, in my opinion, even though it could break to the downside. But okay, is that it, guys? I think that wraps it up. If you get a chance, check out both Discords. I put links in the descriptions. Comment under the video as far as if you'd like to see something different in the future. If there's something you didn't like, comment it. I want to know these things. I love to see you guys on Discord. I'm learning a lot being in the group with you guys there. Much appreciated. And thank you for coming over to the new page we have set up here. It makes me happy to see everybody involved. It makes me happy to see everybody commenting as far as the things that they want to take a look at in the market. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend and good luck trading tomorrow.